pleased to be introducing Margaret Morris. This is her first appearance as a MyT Coach, and her specialization is communications. And she really has a distinguished and unique background. There are many people who coach on communications. It tends to be like myself, how to do a good presentation, how to deliver keynote, how to craft messages. Margaret does that, but she also is a certified speech language pathologist. So she has certification in how to pronounce better, how to articulate better, vowels, consonants, industry terms. So I know we have a lot of people in the audience that who speak English as a second language, and they're in the workplace, and some have concerns about how to be more effective, delivering business communications and messages. So Margaret has that angle as well, not only to coach on business language and presentations and communications, but also how to address how you pronounce and how you choose the right words, etc. She also has her Master of Arts and Master of Science, and she's been doing this for 30 years. And she can help you modify your accent and speak more like an American. And that's very important for folks in Canada and the US, where there are certain idioms, expressions, and ways that we pronounce words that people are used to hearing in the workplace. And without further ado, I would like to turn the floor over to Margaret Morris.
Thanks, Mark and Kathy. I'm so glad to be here and excited to talk about how you can advance your communication skills. When you start working with me, the first thing we need to do is figure out what are your needs and goals. Some of that comes through conversations with you and what you consider your needs and goals are, talking about what you've heard from other colleagues and supervisors. Also, I listen closely to how you pronounce different words in English. In fact, I give you a little test where I listen to your pronunciation, your grammar, your syllable stress, word stress, and your that make up your intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. This helps us decide where to get started. We generally write 5 to 8 different goals of skills that you want to achieve in our time together so you can get to the next level in your career. Next slide. So what are some things that we work on? In our first sessions, we work on improving your pronunciation, intonation, clarity of industry-specific words. Many of my clients tell me they talk around and around in a circle because they can't think of the most effective word or expression. So we'll work on those effective words that clarify your message. We'll also learn frameworks so you can quickly organize your message and get right to the point, and people will find you influential, your message compelling. Let's see, some of my clients want to improve their small talk. And you know what? Small talk is fun. Once you know how to do it, it can be a lot of fun to learn what other people are doing. Some of my clients want to improve their presentation skills using their advanced American English into their presentations, working on interview stories. Maybe that you need to improve your grammar. I use a proven curriculum, but I individualize it for each client. Next slide.
Where do you start after the goals are set?
All right, great. Thank you, Mark. We get started on pronunciation. We will get started on in the very first session, we will get started on one consonant, and usually it's the TH sound. The TH sound is tricky But what's great about it is you can easily tell whether you're doing it correctly by just looking in the mirror. That helps you tune in to your communication. To change your communication, you have to tune in your ear to notice the difference between what you're doing and other people are doing. So we get started on pronunciation of consonants and vowels, and then gradually move on to intonation, use of specific vocabulary and expressions.
Mighty admin, next slide.
All right. Oh, great. On this slide, I have a reminder. I want to tell you about my online practice program that all of my clients get access to for 1 year. On this practice program, there's a terrific model. This lady speaks a bit like me. I grew up in the Chicago area and she grew up in Iowa. You will practice your pronunciation, grammar, intonation, starting at the one word level and moving on up into sentences that are truly tricky. You'll listen to her say the word or a sentence, and then you try it out. You'll listen and see how you sound. The other thing is you submit your work for review. So I can listen to your practice between sessions so that you are always practicing things correctly. And if needed, we can make it, you can move on to the next skill before we even meet again.
What success have you observed with your clients with regards to pronunciation and intonation? What's typical?
What's typical is by session 3 or 4, without any prompting by me, my clients come in and say, people are understanding me better. My boss asked, have you been working on your communication? Or another thing, which is even better, is they will get compliments on what they have shared in a meeting. You will notice a difference by session 3 or 4, guaranteed. All of my clients have told me that.
What's the typical number of sessions to accomplish the initial focus?
The initial focus generally happens within, we usually cover that within 4 to 6 sessions. We're all individuals. We all learn at different rates. Some of us do it quicker and some of us do it a little slower and need more practice. The important thing is to set a good groundwork, check off those goals as you go on, so you're ready to then carry your skills on into your business interactions.
What's a reasonable amount of time between those sessions?
All right, that's a great question, and clients vary in this. I suggest we meet every 7 to 14 days. After we have met for maybe 3 times, most clients go to moving it to 14 days. That gives them more time to practice and to make sure they're integrating it into their conversations at work. Think about you wanting to run a half marathon. So that's about, I think, between 11 and 13 miles. You can't go out and do that. Unless you want to hurt yourself. So you have to learn, you have to practice in little steps. Sometimes you go forward, sometimes you stay at the same place. The goal is to run that half marathon and not injure yourself in the process and enjoy it. So that's the same thing with improving your communication.